Good evening and welcome to the Ncwlife Evening News. I'm Eric Granstrom in for Grant Olson here on this 30th day of October 2018. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window. And the day closing much different than how it began, with beautiful sunshine today in the Wenatchee Valley and most of north central Washington. But here come the clouds, and that's kind of a harbinger of things to come. In fact, we have a four-letter S word that we're going to throw at you right now. Snow. That's right. Snow level coming down to 3,000 feet in the mountains tonight. That could mean 3 inches of snow for past travelers over Stevens Pass. You see the rest of it there, Washington Pass up to 4 inches, so much more snow falling to the east of us as you head towards the Idaho Panhandle, but definitely some snow in the Cascades tonight. Now the good news is that it'll start as snow but then warm up as the snow level will rise through the morning tomorrow and into tomorrow night. Now, speaking of tomorrow, let's see what's in store for the trick-or-treaters as we head into the All Hallows Eve. Not too bad. We're going to get rain in the morning, so when the kids get on the bus in the morning, it's going to be a little wet. But then in time for trick-or-treating tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening, should be nice and dry. And a good night for tricks or treats. Hopefully more treats than tricks. Now, a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. A lawsuit in the Carlton Complex fire has been thrown out. A restructure for the Chelan County Regional Jail may help with their budget. And later on tonight, a game time and day change for the big Eastmont-Wenatchee football game. But first, we begin tonight. A Leavenworth area man who's accused of firing a gun at a BNSF work crew last week has been formally charged with 4 counts of second-degree assault. 44-year-old James Carl Brown appeared in Chelan County Superior Court Monday and was released on bond pending a November 7th arraignment. Prosecutors allege in court documents that Brown fired 3 warning shots into the dirt in front of the Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railroad truck with 4 workers inside. Brown was arrested after a sheriff's SWAT team was deployed to his Chumstick Road residence. Brown claims the railroad workers had trespassed onto his property when they used a driveway to access a rail crossing. No one was injured. Well, the Associated Press reports a judge in Okanogan County has dismissed a lawsuit accusing Washington State of negligence for failing to contain one of the state's largest wildfires in 2014. Senior news editor Steve Hare has the details.
Superior Court Judge Christopher Culp last week dismissed the claims filed by families who suffered losses in the Carlton Complex fire. Now, the lawsuit was brought by families who alleged the State Department of Natural Resources failed to stop the fire from spreading. Smaller fires merged into a massive blaze that destroyed hundreds of homes in Okanogan County, scorched more than 390 square miles. The court ruled that the state agency does not have a statutory duty to particular individuals to prevent or suppress fires, either as a landowner or in its firefighting efforts. The attorney who filed the suit said they're filing a motion to reconsider. Steve Hare, Ncwlife News.
Thank you, Steve. Chelan County Commissioners say the county's Regional Justice Center is being reorganized to address increasing security concerns. Last week, Interim Jail Director Bill Larson presented the board with a proposal to increase and restructure staffing, as well as to add more surveillance cameras and upgrade existing jail cell doors. The request follows grievances by jail staff concerning dangerous working conditions. Ncwlife Channel sat down with the commissioners this week to discuss the proposed changes and why they're necessary.
So it's something that we need to look at. The biggest challenge that we have right now is the financial component. But having said that, I mean, we are committed to maintaining a safe and secure facility. So we will be looking at that very carefully and analyzing what we can incorporate into what we have, and then making making those changes that are necessary. It's going to be a challenge because of the way things have changed somewhat in our revenues. A number of years ago, we were bringing in quite a bit outside income just on bed rentals, which doesn't exist anymore. And some of the bed rentals that we do have now are higher risk inmates. So that does change the complexity. So there are a number of, I guess, moving parts, dynamics that are taking place right now that we do need to address.
Kevin?
Yeah, we had Bill come in. He's been here for about 3 months. and had an opportunity to kind of take a good hard look at the facility itself, both the capital facility as well as the operational needs, and have identified basically those two things. What is needed with regards to staff, what is needed with regards to the leadership piece in that, as well as what is needed as far as the safety and security elements that are in the capital facility itself. And that business proposal that he provided to us is that it gives a couple of options, but it's something that taking a longer look at it might take a little bit longer to implement because of the funding that would be necessary to do that. And so we're going to continue to work with Bill with regards to what is needed immediately and what is in the budget to be able to do that. And then what do we need to do systematically throughout the course of the next few years to make sure that these things are put into place.
The Chelan County Regional Justice Center is a 383-bed correctional facility that was originally built to hold half that number. Commissioners say there's also a larger percentage of the jail's inmates who are being held on felony charges than in past years, making for a more dangerous environment for jail staff. Coming up next on the Ncwlife Evening News, taking pieces of history with them when Chelan County Fire District 1 moves, honoring veterans in Wenatchee with new banners hanging around downtown, and options for safe trick-or-treating for Halloween tomorrow. I'm Eric Granstrom, and you're watching the Ncwlife Evening News.
Thanks to the help I received at Goodwill,
I have a job. I'm working now. Thanks to Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill.
Goodwill's Employment Connection Center is a free walk-in job search assistance program designed to get you back to work. When you donate to or shop at Goodwill, you're really helping people find work.
Thank you.
Goodwill, there's more behind the store.
I came here to CVCH because one of my friends referred me. When I met Dr. Jocelyn, she was just amazing. She connected with my son, and it meant so much to me. He opens up so quickly because she just sits there and plays with him. It really is like going to see a friend. It's really great to walk into somewhere where you feel welcomed and you feel accepted and respected. It just feels like home.
With 15,000 square feet to explore, you'll find something special at the Antique Mall at Cashmere. For the do-it-yourselfers and those with a keen eye for making something old, fresh and new again, the Antique Mall at Cashmere is the place to come find your next project. From the coin enthusiasts to avid collectors, Antique Mall at Cashmere has treasures in every corner. Come find your treasure today. Antique Mall at Cashmere's friendly staff is here to help. Stop on by today.
Welcome back, and thanks for watching the Ncwlife Evening News. I'm Eric Granstrom in for Grant Olson. When Chelan County Fire District 1 moves its downtown Wenatchee Fire Station to a new building, they're hoping to take some of the old station's history with them, specifically a brass pole and the bell that sits atop the building.
So the pole, our new design for the fire station, has it as our actual main point for the firefighters to get from the second story down to the apparatus bay. So it's a functional purpose. We also use the pole for all of our tours that come in. Every kid that comes into the fire station wants to see a fire engine and wants to see a fire pole. So it's not only just educational and PR, but it's also a functional access for the firefighters to get from their living quarters down to the fire apparatus. And we're hoping to take the historical pole with us, leave one here in the building, and take the other one with us.
Yeah, the situation is because Wenatchee Fire Station number 1 at 136 South Chelan Avenue is listed on the National Register of Historic Places. Certain processes, like a public comment period, must be followed before the bell and pole can be moved. Fire Chief Mike Burnett said they hope to take one of the 2 remaining poles to the new station. The sound of the bell has been heard for many years, and it will need to be refurbished before the move. The plan is to have it displayed in a courtyard outside the new fire station, which will be at the former Prospector Pies location on Wenatchee Avenue.
So the bell was originally on the old fire station, the original fire station in Wenatchee, and then when this was built in 1929, some years later it was moved here and placed up on the roof. It hasn't been functional in years and years. We want to remove the bell and use it as part of our display right there at the station, kind of historical recognition of the past. So when you walk up to the front of the fire station, there's the bell. You'll also be able to see it as you're driving by on Wenatchee Avenue. Right now you can't see the bell unless you go up onto the roof. You can just see the top of the platform, but again it is, all the mechanisms are all rusted up and it is not functional. We'd like to be able to restore it and have it be part of our history moving forward.
Wenatchee Fire Station number 1 was opened in 1929. It was designed by Ludwig O. Solberg, the architect behind many of Wenatchee's historic buildings and homes. The district hopes to have the new station open by next summer. What will become of the old station has yet to be determined. Well, there's no doubt you've seen the new banners hanging from street lampposts in downtown Wenatchee. The project undertaken by the Downtown Merchants Association honors local military veterans. WDA Executive Director Linda Haglund comments on the project on an upcoming Life with Lisa program.
The money they spent to pay for these banners, they will hang this year November and next year November. But we have the opportunity to do 60. We did 21 the first year, feel really good about that. But hopefully when they go
the space
up,
for 60.
we do, the capacity. So these will hang 2 years. And then hopefully next year we'll get other ones that will go on a 2-year cycle. And then we will find another veteran organization that's helping our vets in this community. Bunker comes to mind, those. So, so what we will do then, after the 2 years, they can keep their banner.
Each of the banners includes a picture of the veteran and their story. Each of those stories will be compiled in a book being published by the Wenatchee World. You can learn more about the project and an upcoming Life with Lisa program here on the NCW Life channel. Well, just a reminder that the streets will be crawling with ghosts, goblins, superheroes, princesses, and who knows what else tomorrow night as youngsters head out on their annual Halloween quest for fun and candy. So if you're driving around, do so with great care. One place where traffic won't be a problem is downtown Wenatchee for the annual Trick or Treat on the Ave. The event goes from 3 to 5 p.m. Wenatchee Avenue will be closed between 2nd and Arrondo Avenue. In addition to a haul of sweet treats from downtown businesses, kids will see an array of emergency vehicles and construction equipment on the Ave. You're watching the NCW Life Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCW Life Evening News. Stay with us.
The physical therapists at Cascade Medical love the outdoors as much as you do. But sometimes where there's love, there's also pain. Let us help you get back to the activities that you love. Cascade Medical, partners in your health.
Eastern Washington. It's a great place to call home and a great time to own a home. It's the ideal place to lay down roots for your family and your future. Gisa Credit Union thinks Eastern Washington is a great place to own a home too. That's why we offer all kinds of home loans with personal attention every step of the way. We're your home. For home loans, we're Gisa Credit Union.
So Pam, how's your mom doing?
She's okay. She's struggling. She'd like to stay in her house, and it's getting harder for her to do the daily chores.
What kinds of problems is she having?
Just basic house cleaning, you know, taking care of her house, yard work, taking care of her medicine.
It does sound exhausting.
It is very exhausting, and I always worry about her.
Aging in Adult Care can assist you or your loved one to remain comfortably and safely in their own home. Contact them today to start the conversation.
Welcome back to the NCW Life Evening News. In our feature story tonight, Thanks to a group of volunteers, there will be fewer hazards to worry about for hikers and wildlife at Horse Lake Reserve. A crew was busy earlier today helping remove barbed wire fencing in the popular hiking area on the north end of the Wenatchee foothills. Neil Hedges, Stewardship Director for the Chelan Douglas Land Trust, said it has been years long in the making.
Today, removing old livestock fencing that was put up on these two farms that the Land Trust acquired in 2007. It's an ongoing process. Today we'll probably remove about a quarter mile of fencing, and then we're taking down the posts and the wire here, and then we'll move on to another section. This year we've done a total of about 3/4 of a mile of fencing. Last year we did 1.6, so we try to do some each year, some years more than others. Yeah, these are the remnants of the old Barnhill and Burt's homesteads that were up here. We'll be out here probably every year for a long time because there's miles and miles of fence left to take off this piece of property, so it's going to be an ongoing process for years to come. This is actually kind of a nice time of the year to work. I've never done fall fence removal, but it's kind of nice because there's no snakes, no ticks, and it's cooler. So I think I'll do it again in the future.
Hedges had planned to have another work crew out Wednesday, but there weren't enough volunteers for a second day. Now, if you'd like to volunteer for future fence removal opportunities, you can contact him at his his email address there, neil@cdl, or make that cdlandtrust.org. or give him a call at 667-9708. Well, it's another mixed bag here in north central Washington. As we start our look at weather, let's first take a look out the weather window. And as you can see, we had kind of a mixed bag here late this afternoon with beautiful sunshine earlier in the day, but here come the clouds moving in from the west, and that's on the front edge of a new system that is coming our way, and we'll talk more about that in a moment. First of all, let's take a look at what happened here around the area today. Of course, we got that high again, 54. We're just a little bit slightly above normal. 37, the overnight low. That was about, 3 o'clock this morning, I think it was. Normally, we're at 53 and 36 for this time of year. The record high temperature set in 2015. Look at that, 73 degrees. Wow, how about that? And the record low, 15, set in 2002. We thought 1970 was a cold streak, but something happened in 2002, and I'm sure, again, we talked about the damage possible to the fruit trees. 2002 was certainly probably one of those situations. Precipitation to date, we've had over an inch of rainfall here in the month of October as we get ready to close out the month. And we've caught up to and surpassed our normal for this time of year. We've got over 5.5 inches of rainfall so far for 2018. Our sunrise this morning was at 7:42. The sunset tonight at 5:47. Again, we're losing about 2-3 minutes of daylight each day that we head towards fall and into the winter months. Let's see what's happening as far as the surface loop is concerned as we look at the pressure systems that we're working with here in the state of Washington. Now, we talked earlier about snow, and there you see it right here in the Cascade Mountains. We're going to get some snow overnight tonight and then rains here in the Wenatchee Valley for tomorrow morning. That's going to probably start slimming down about 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. As we move through the day tomorrow, going to be fairly nice. And then Thursday, we've got another system moving back in that's going to give us some rain by midday, probably on Thursday. Friday morning, here comes some heavy rain, and it's really going to start slugging us hard here as this system washes over eastern Washington, and it's going to give us maybe 3/10 of an inch of rain before it's all said and done on Friday. Now, we were worrying about football for Friday night and whether we would have to dossy up with umbrellas and such, but now the football game's been moved. We'll tell you about that in sports coming up. By the weekend, another kind of a mixed bag. I mean, wait about 20 minutes and you'll have some different weather, kind of like the spring in the Wenatchee Valley. We're going to see a little bit of rain showers. We're going to see some snow in the higher elevations with colder temperatures coming as that low system from Canada kind of drops down and gives us a little bit of colder air in the mountains, and you can see more snow possibly coming up by the weekend. So that's kind of what we're looking at as far as what's influencing our weather here in north central Washington and across the state. Let's take a look at that forecast now, the Quick Lube and Tune forecast. As we get ready for tonight, here come the showers, here comes the rain, and here comes the possible snow in the higher elevations. So we're looking at cloudy skies with rain tonight, low temperature down about 43. Tomorrow, clouds, some rain in the morning. There'll be some sunshine breaks in the afternoon with a high of 56. We'll get down in the middle 40s again tomorrow night. Same story for Thursday with some clouds that will move back in. Slight chance of rain happening through the day on Thursday with a pretty warm high, 59. As you see the temperatures crank up a little bit by Friday, that is the end of kind of a warm air mass that's moving in behind this first little shot of cold air. That's going to give us the snow for the mountains. We're going to see those heavy rains through the morning on Friday into the midday Friday, and then things by Friday afternoon, late and into Friday evening should be fairly nice with dry conditions. 61 for the high on Friday, 43 the low Friday nights as we head into the weekend. I don't know if you have any outdoor plans or not, but shouldn't be too bad this weekend as we start November. Still fairly mild temperatures, a little bit higher than what we're normally seeing with highs in the 50s, nighttime lows staying in the 40s. So it should be fairly nice as we head into the weekend and for the most part, dry. That's a look at your forecast here on the Ncwlife channel. We'll be right back with sports, and we'll wrap things up coming up next here on the Ncwlife Evening News.
Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house, featuring great family dining in downtown Chelan. We've got burgers, pub fare, and the best barbecue around. Try one of our award-winning sauces made fresh here in-house. So grab the whole gang and come on down. Stormy Mountain Brewing. Beer, barbecue, friends, and beer.
If you want to work in healthcare, choose the program that teaches the skills employers want. The Charter College Medical Assistant Program combines hands-on learning in the lab with convenient online learning, plus real-life experience with an externship. Classes start every 5 weeks, so you don't have to wait to launch your new career. Enroll with confidence, knowing Charter is institutionally accredited by the Accrediting Bureau of Health Education Schools, and be ready to work in less than a year. Charter College. We work to get you to work.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Just as the cool mornings and evenings are returning to our valley, Carrier and Alpine Air are offering best-in-class rebates and promotions to keep your home comfortable and safe this winter. Call for your free estimate today. Ask about rebates to $1,650 and low interest, low payment financing. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call 662-6846. Heat and Air, call Alpine Air.
And now it's a sports update on the Ncwlife channel.
And a happy Tuesday to you. By a unanimous vote, the District 6 athletic directors have voted to move the Wenatchee-Eastmont football game up to Thursday from Friday night. Russ Waterman is the athletic director in charge of football for the Big Nine and says it's a matter of adhering to a rule he and the rest of the Big Nine ADs overlooked.
It was brought to our attention by the WIAA that we needed to have our selection to the selection committee by midnight on Saturday. There's a rule that was overlooked by the league that we weren't aware of when we built the schedule for several years. It basically says that any state qualifying team has to be notified or has to be determined by midnight of Saturday before the state event. So for us, that means we had to decide, do we willingly violate a WIAA rule and not have that team in front of the selection committee for 3A, 4A to be properly placed on their merit on the bracket, or do we move the games to Thursday? So Wenatchee would play Eastmont Thursday evening and Sunnyside plays Moses Lake Thursday evening, and if a playoff situation arose from the outcomes of that, we would be able to play that on Saturday and be able to get the selection to the committee. That also gives us the 48-hour window between competitions that we have to, keep in mind for player safety.
So if Wenatchee beats Eastmont and Sunnyside defeats Moses Lake, a three-way tie would exist for first place between the Panthers, the Grizzlies, and the Wildcats, which would force that mini tiebreaker scenario. Wenatchee Athletic Director Jim Beeson says it's obviously not what they wanted, but what they must do.
Obviously changing the day, moving a day early, probably the group that's impacted the most are both of the two teams, because their preparation started yesterday and they were preparing with the idea that they were going to practice Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, play Friday. Obviously, that's changed starting today. So those are the groups which are the most important groups that are impacted the greatest. But in terms of people showing up for the game, if they pre-bought tickets, the tickets are good for whether the game is Thursday night or Friday night. It really doesn't matter. There's no time on the tickets or anything like that. So they just need to show up for the game on Thursday. If they can't be there Thursday and want a refund of their ticket, then we will refund their tickets as well.
So once again, the Wenatchee versus Eastmont Bridges sportsmanship game has been moved from Friday to Thursday, still be at 7 o'clock, and we'll have our pregame tailgate show starting at 6 right here on the NCW Life channel. Well, the last time the Wenatchee girls soccer team faced West Valley, it was in Yakima. The Rams came away with a hard-fought 2-1 win in overtime. It marked the second loss that week for Wenatchee, also lost in a home game to Moses Lake 3-0. Coach John Springer said it was a learning moment for his young program.
We had a tough week last week, and I was really proud of our bounce back effort against West Valley. The girls really showed up to play well. Just came out on the short end, but yeah, we've got to learn that Moses game. We just didn't come out with enough energy, so hopefully we can find that tonight.
Now, Wenatchee hosts West Valley tonight in the District 6 4A semifinals at Lee Bofto Field of the Apple Bowl. The two teams met the past 3 years in a row in the playoffs, but that was for the district championship. A little bit different this time. The loser season is done. Kickoff at 6 o'clock. We'll have that live on the NCW Life channel. I'll be joined in the booth by Justin Giraldi and Mauricio Sanchez on the play-by-play. Matt Wiesen with the night off because his wife is having her birthday today. Happy birthday to Melissa. Other semifinals, Pitt's Eastmont at Moses Lake in a rematch of last week's season finale where the Chiefs dominated in a 3-0 win. They'll kick off also at 6 o'clock at Lions Field. Also tonight, it's a loser-out district game in the District 6 1A soccer tournament in Leavenworth where Cascade is hosting Okanagan. While soccer's in its postseason, the Big 9 volleyball regular season reaches its final week. Wenatchee ends the regular season on the road at Ike tonight at 7 o'clock. Eastmont plays its regular season finale. Well, it was supposed to be on Thursday. Now with the switch of the football game, talking with the athletic director for Eastmont, Russ Waterman, he said looks like they're going to move that volleyball game from Thursday, which would be senior night for the girls, to Friday, so everybody could go to the football game on Thursday night, and then they would have their senior night on Friday. Looks like that's going to be the plan. Meanwhile, the District 6 1A volleyball tournament continues at Cascade tonight with the Kodiaks face a loser-out game against Omak at 6. The winner will advance along with district champion Chelan to the Glue crossover playoffs with the Northeast A-League this weekend. Well, in Seahawks news, Seattle has waived wide receiver Brandon Marshall. The 34-year-old was signed in the offseason and made the opening day roster. In 7 games, he had 11 catches for 136 yards and a touchdown. Now, the recent emergence of David Moore probably proved Marshall expendable. Also, Seahawks linebacker Michael Kendricks has been officially suspended for 8 games for pleading guilty to insider trading. He was suspended indefinitely by the league earlier this month with a length now stipulated. It means Kendricks can rejoin the team in Week 10 as the Hawks prepare to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Kendricks appeared in 3 games with Seattle, making 2 sacks and 13 tackles, started 2 games in place of the injured linebacker KJ Wright. That's a look at sports news here on the NCW Life channel. We're at 28 minutes past the hour. As we wrap it up tonight, a reminder of what's coming up in the mountains tonight and tomorrow morning. So if you have any mountain travel plans, snow in the forecast for the mountains, up to 3 inches possible at Stevens Pass. Snow level down to 3,000 feet, but will rise as the morning hours shift to a little warmer conditions tomorrow. And tomorrow, speaking of, as far as Halloween, it'll be wet in the morning, but will be dry in time for trick-or-treating tomorrow night. That's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more of these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or call us at 888-6295. Also, keep it right here on the NCW Life channel tomorrow morning for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with the latest with Dan Kutz. Have a great night, and thanks for watching.
Hey there, Wenatchee. I'm Sean Lee, and I'm inviting you to check out the NCW Movie Guide to keep up on what movies are playing in our town.